Good morning, everyone. This is Retired Guy on Main Street Sanity, a retiree's take. And I think today we're going to talk a little bit about how low can the bar be set. First, we'll start out with Maine, Graham Plattner, that they were all swooning over Schumer, Booker, Ocasio-Crazy, Bernie Sanders, Warren, Pocahontas. They were all saying, we're a big tent. And they were all backing this guy. And now look what's going on. All of his conduct, besides being a Nazi, he has a Nazi tattoo. And he's a communist, and he hates America. He was a disgrace to the Marines, disgrace to the military service, and yet they were backing him. So that tells you how low that bar really is. Now they want him to bow out. And the question is, when did they know this stuff? They've known it all the time. Look at Swalwell, I call him Swallow. Look at him. He was a pig. And they knew about it until it really came out. And of course now he's done. But just see how low that bar is. We'll look at Mandami, Kami Mandami in New York. Has he really ever held a job? No. But they swooned all over him because he's a communist. And they're communist. And what's he done for New York so far? Well, he wants them to turn the thermostats up to 78 degrees. So tell us again, how low is that bar? Well, look at Ocasio-Crazy, a bartender. She's in Congress. That bar's really low. The one that I think it was out in Colorado, I guess she was a lawyer who got fired, working as a barista serving coffee. And now she's going and, running for Congress. So let's think about it. How low can they really set this bar? It's to the point now, you don't even have to step over it. That's how low it is. And everyone calls them the Democratic Socialist Party. No, they're saying that because if you just said the Socialist Party, they would never get elected. They have to put that Democrat behind it. Well, there's only one Democrat left, and that's John Fetterman. I've said that before. So call them what they are. They're a Socialist Communist Party that want to destroy the United States of America. So never say Democratic Socialist Party. It's a Socialist Party. And they have no standards, none whatsoever. The only thing they want to do is take your money and give it to the people who don't want to do anything. Who are they getting to vote for them? The young people that have been indoctrinated that think, well, why should I work? You're working, I should get part of your money because you should give it to me. And that's their stance. You shouldn't have a house. I should have your house. Give it to me. It should be free. I should get free stuff. Everything you have, I should have, so give it to me. They don't want to work. They have no life. They don't want to try. They just want to say, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. And the only thing I can say is, you don't like the country? Move out. There's about 155 other countries you can live in. Go to one of them. Canada will give you free stuff. Go to Canada. Go to Mexico. Go to England, Portugal, Spain, Italy, Turkey. Go to any of those you want. Just leave ours and leave it alone. That's communism, that's socialism. They just want free stuff and they want to take what you have. So I say, don't let them. And I was watching the news, obviously, and it was funny listening to that idiot Reid saying that America was boring. Boring, and I can't remember the word she used, but she's one of these, like, what's that idiot, Chuck Todd, and some of the others, they're mad, they're embarrassed. I say, fine, move out, but you know they won't, because they can't survive anywhere else. If they go to a socialist country, what they have will be taken. That's why they won't leave. People like De Niro, and what's her name? The one who says, breathe, breathe. Oh, Julia Roberts. Springsteen. I class them in with people like Warren, Schumer, Rashida Taliban. Oh man, I married my brother Omar. Bloomin' Idiot, Van Hollen. Is it Murphy? All those. There's only two things they could do for the United States of America. And it's sad that I have to say this, but the two things that they all could do was either move out or die. Just pass away. They have no redeeming values. None. Because they want to make the world how they want you to be. They want to tell you what you can do, how you can do it, when you can do it, where you're going to live, how you're going to live. And then what they're going to do is says, here's just enough for you to live. But what people don't realize, they're not living under the same rules. Think about it. Bernie Sanders, back in 2016, 2019, the oligarchies were the millionaires. And now they're the billionaires. Why? Because Bernie's a millionaire. So all of his millionaire friends are going to be exempt because they're not billionaires. Now we're going to go after billionaires. So let's say somebody has $700 million. They're not a billionaire, so they don't fall in that category. Think about it. If you're one of these saying, yeah, we got to go for the oligarchy, where does the oligarchy really start? Why can't it start at $500 million? Why can't it start at $100 million? Why can't it start at $1 million? You have nothing, so where does the oligarchy start? Why should it start at billionaires? Bernie Sanders isn't going to give up his millions or his houses. Neither of these people like De Niro, Springsteen, Roberts. Taylor Swift? Well, no, she's a billionaire, so she falls in that category. Unless they exempt her. And they probably will. Think about it. Who really is the oligarchy? Is it the ones who make some money, who employs people to ensure that they get paid, they get medical benefits, and they have the chance to move up in life and have a comfortable life? Or is it the ones that want to tell you how you can live, where you can live, when you can live, and give you just enough to get by? So who really is the oligarchy? Once again, how low is that bar? To them, they're setting the bar high so you can't achieve it, but they're above the bar. So, just something that, food for thought. And I guess my last point today is America's 250 years old. And it's time for Thune to get off his ass and start doing something. You get people, nothing will get done. I can see it now until the midterms, and we get rid of some of these people that are finally getting out, like Cornyn. My brother lives in Texas. He said Cornyn was not well liked, but no one would primary him. Well, look at this. He got primaries, and he got stomped in the primaries. And now he's pouting because he lost his gravy train. So anything because the president didn't back him, he's not going to vote for him. Then you got the idiot Tillis and some of the other ones. So they lost their gravy train. Obviously, they weren't doing a good enough job in their states to get reelected. So it says more about them than it does about the president and the people. But yet, they're going to take it out on the people because, like I said, they lost their gravy train. So their moral values, I think, are pretty low. When you can't sit there and say, well, I guess I didn't do a good enough job, but I'm not going to disappoint the people who originally voted me in. And sit there and vote for the right things. That's pretty sad, and it's pretty good. I'm glad they're getting out. But then you have some that are still sitting there on their gravy train, like Murkowski. I have no respect for her. And I've said this before, is if you're doing your job, you will keep your job. But with some of these people, they get in there and they just think it's a right that they get to keep it. And that's not true. And obviously, people like Cornyn and Tillis and some of the others weren't doing their job because, like I said, if you're doing your job, people are going to keep you. But like I say, Murkowski, she's another one. Two things you can do for the country, and we know what they are. I'm over her. And McConnell, it's time for him to leave. And to really get some people in there that think about the country. And voters' rights. Why can't the Republicans sit there and say, yes, we're going to break the filibuster and we're going to get this, so you have to show an ID that you're an American citizen to vote, but yet they won't. And listen to the Socialist Party. If they get in power, they've already said there'll be no filibuster. They're going to pack the court. They've said what they're going to do. But yet, you're going to let them. I said this before, they shut the door. On the 2024 election, they shut the door on the Democrats because they have no policies, and they still don't, besides communism. But yet, the Republicans are standing in line fighting to see who can hold the door open to let them back in. That's pretty sad. And I know not too many Republican people in Senate or Congress will ever hear this. And it's sad, but that's how a lot of Americans feel. So, anyway, that's it for today. I just want to get something out. It's been a few days, and it's been hectic when you're a retired guy. You don't get time to do things. So until the next time, have a good day. Remember, my email is retiredguys@myyahoo.com. Always feel free to drop me a line. So I think only 2 or 3 people have, but then I have a small podcast. I'm not high tech like some people. So, and then I do post this on YouTube as well. And everyone, have a good day.